morning, students. Today we are going to learn about the elements of the periodic table. This is the picture of the periodic table in which you have 118 elements arranged in a particular manner. On the left side of the periodic table you have the S block elements, and on the right side of the periodic table you have the P block elements. In between the S block and the P block elements, the D block elements are present, and below the periodic table you have the F block elements. We have already learnt about the classification of elements into 4 blocks, namely the S block, P block, D block and the F block elements. We have also learnt the properties of S block elements and their important compounds in the 11th standard. Now this year we are going to learn about the P block elements in this particular chapter. Now the P block elements comprises of group numbers 13 to 18. These are the P block elements starting from group 13 to group 18. Now group 13 comprises of boron and the family members called as a boron family. Group 14 comprises of carbon family. Group 15 comprises of nitrogen family. Group 16 comprises of the oxygen family. Group 17 comprises of the fluorine family, which is otherwise called as the halogens, and group 18 consists of the noble gases or the inert gases. Why are these elements called as the P block elements? The last electron enters into the p orbital, and these elements, the first members of the group are boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. So say it along with me: boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. Depending upon these first members, the following members below them are called as their family members. These elements have quite varied properties, and this block contains the non-metals. All these are called as the non-metals, and the metals are also found in the P block, as well as these green elements which are represented, they are called as metalloids, having both the properties of metals as well as non-metals. So the P block elements is the only group in which you find both the metals, non-metals and the metalloids in the same group. All the elements in this group play a very important role in our day-to-day life. Oxygen, we cannot live without oxygen. This element aluminium is being useful along with its alloys in various household utensils to parts of the aircraft. Silicon and germanium, they made a revolutionary change in the field of modern electronics. So same way, you have most of these elements, or all these elements, playing a very important role in our day-to-day life. Now we are going to learn how to memorize the different elements present in the groups. Now I am going to teach you a trick or the mnemonics by which you can remember all the elements which are present in each of these groups in the P block. Let us learn the tricks to find out how to write down all the elements in the 13th group. The 13th group of elements, you can remember the mnemonic bag it. Yes, repeat: bag, B-A-G-I-T, it. The first alphabet in the elements represent bag it. I have written, you can write it as B-A-G-I-T, one below the other in the 13th group. B stands for boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium. So in the 13th group you have boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium. According to the mnemonic, bag it. And one more thing you have to remember is the electronic configuration of the elements of the P block. 13th group electronic configuration will be NS2 NP1. For 14th group will be, you remember the one, remember 4, so NS2 NP2. N stands for the number of electrons in the outermost shell, and 5 electrons in the outermost shell, NS2 NP3. 16th group NS2 NP4. Count these two, 4 plus 2, you will get the 6 which are present in the valence shell. 17 NS2 NP5. And in the noble gases you will find configuration, inert gas configuration, the stablest configuration, NS2 NP6. Now let's go to the 14th group and how to remember the elements present in the 14th group. Cute sisters get small problems. Here I've written it down for you. Cute sisters get, instead of small, you can write tiny problems. The way you remember is cute, C, carbon, sisters, Si, get, Ge, tiny, Sn stands for tin, and small, Sm, instead of Sm, M you can write as Sn. Sn is nothing but tin. That's why you write it as tiny here to remember it. Problems, you have to remember P and B. In problems, you get lead, Pb. So this is how you remember the 14th group. Now there is a funny way of remembering the 15th group. All you have to remember is something about Bisibalabad. Night Basmati Arsila Anti Bisibalabad. You have to remember it like this. In the night Basmati rice la vechi Arsila Bisibalabad senchangante. So night Basmati Arsila Anti Bisibalabad. Now how do I put it down into the 15th group? N for nitrogen. Basmati, you could put it as Pasumati, P, phosphorus. Arsila, AS stands for arsenic. Anti is antimony. Antimony will be the name of it is SB, stibium. So SB, antimony, the way of remembering it. And Bisibalabad, you can remember Bi for bismuth. Okay, so nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth are the elements in the 15th group. Now how do you remember the 16th group? Just remember Simran. Oh, Simran sent the post. I'll repeat. Oh, Simran sent the post. O stands for oxygen. Simran stands for sulfur. Sent, Se, stands for selenium, tellurium, polonium. Okay, another way of remembering will be all the elements below oxygen, their third alphabet will be with L. Sulfur, selenium, sul, cell, tel, pol. Okay, so all the elements below oxygen, sulfur, Sul, cell, tel, pol. So that's another way of remembering our 16th group. This is the oxygen family. It's otherwise called as a chalcogens.